Hey everyone, welcome to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
Today we're focusing on a skill that, well, it seems simple maybe, but it can make a huge difference in how comfortable you feel connecting with people.
Yeah, especially if you're navigating conversations in English. It's a big one.
We're talking about mastering small talk.
That's right. We've been looking at some material, part of a program actually, designed to help people get more fluent, more comfortable communicating.
And there's this one day in the program, day 6, that just zeroes in completely on cracking the code of casual conversation.
Exactly. The kind of chat you have at a party, before a meeting, maybe just bumping into someone on the street.
So our mission today in this deep dive is to really unpack what this material says is the most effective way to approach small talk.
We want to pull out those practical nuggets, the really useful bits. So
Yeah.
you walk away understanding, okay, how do I actually start these conversations?
Yeah, what topics are good? What should I definitely avoid?
And crucially, how to sound, friendly and confident while doing it. Because that's key for sounding natural.
Because, let's be honest, that moment,
Mm-hmm.
you need to start a conversation maybe with someone you don't know well or even at all.
Yeah, it can feel, well, awkward. Definitely awkward.
You're just standing there, maybe at some event or waiting in line somewhere, and your brain just piff, freezes.
Total blank. What on earth do I say now? We've all been there.
Or maybe you're on the receiving end, right?
Sure.
Someone starts talking, you get the words, but responding naturally, keeping it going.
Mm-hmm. It feels stiff or just unnatural. And you really don't want the conversation to just die after, 2 sentences.
Right. And the material we looked at makes a really strong point about this. In English-speaking cultures, small talk isn't just pointless chatter you can skip.
No, not at all. It's actually pretty important. It's like a fundamental way to show you're approachable, friendly.
To build rapport. And here's the key thing. It acts as the essential first step, the gateway, really.
The gateway, exactly, to potentially deeper conversations, more meaningful connections down the line.
So avoiding it just because you're not sure what to say, well, the material argues you might be missing out.
Yeah, missing opportunities to connect, build relationships, or even just make a brief interaction a bit more pleasant for everyone.
Embracing small talk with a bit of strategy, it's actually empowering. That's the argument.
So, okay, if small talk is this entry point, this key, how exactly does this program suggest we navigate it? What's the strategy?
Well, that's precisely what we're diving into today. We'll break down the blueprint presented in the material,
Starting with, the simple art of just beginning the conversation.
then exploring the best topics, the safe zones,
And definitely identifying the ones you should actively avoid, the red flags.
and finally looking at those nonverbal cues, the things that help you sound friendly and confident. It's the whole package.
The payoff, as the source highlights, is pretty significant. Getting a handle on this can genuinely boost your confidence in just everyday interactions.
Okay, let's unpack this roadmap for small talk then and see what makes it tick.
All right, let's jump right in. Maybe the biggest hurdle for a lot of people actually initiating that conversation, starting it.
It can definitely feel daunting, can't it? Approaching someone cold, you might hear that little voice of doubt. What if they don't want to talk? Or what if I sound stupid?
Totally. But the material we're looking at really emphasizes that starting is actually much simpler than you might think.
If you use the right kind of opener, that is.
Exactly. And the secret, it suggests, isn't about being super witty or brilliant right off the bat.
No, its main job is just to be friendly. Low pressure, easy for the other person to respond to.
It just needs to open the door a tiny crack. That's it.
And the material offers specific examples, which is really helpful, tailored to different common situations. Let's take a networking event first.
Right, because there, the goal is often explicitly to meet new people. So the examples are quite direct, very functional.
Perfect for that context.
Yeah.
You could walk up to someone and just say, hey, nice to meet you. I'm your name. How's your day going?
See how simple? You introduce yourself clearly, which is helpful. And that question, how's your day going? It's so easy. Anyone can answer that easily, even just briefly. Good, thanks. Or pretty busy, but good.
It doesn't demand a deep thought. It's just polite.
Another one for networking. Hi, I'm your name. So what brings you to this event?
I like that one. It immediately uses the shared context. You're both there for some reason.
Right. It gives the other person something specific and relevant to talk about without getting too personal. It stays in that safe zone. It might mention their company, their role, their interest in the topic.
Keeps it professional but open. And here's another good one, especially if people might know each other, which is common at these things. Hey, you know John too. How do you guys know each other?
Using a mutual connection. Classic. It's a fantastic entry point.
It's easy for the other person, right?
Yeah.
They just share a quick story about meeting John, maybe from work or university, whatever, and boom, you instantly have a shared topic.
Yeah, these networking examples really show how you can leverage the shared environment or the people there as a really easy in. It takes the pressure off finding something totally original to say.
They're designed, really, just to get a quick, comfortable response, not asking for a long story or anything personal.
Minimal effort required from the other person.
Now let's switch gears. Imagine a different setting, more relaxed, social, like a party at a friend's house. The vibe is different, less formal.
Right, pressure's off a bit, maybe. So the examples shift to reflect that. You could comment on your surroundings positively.
This place is great. Have you been here before?
Yeah, simple. It's a compliment, either to the host or the venue itself.
Mm-hmm.
And the question just needs a yes, no, or maybe a brief comment about their experience there. Yeah, I came last year, or no, first time, it's lovely.
Easy peasy. And similar to networking, you can use the host as that connection point.
Definitely. So how do you know Sarah? Classic party opener. You know you have at least that one person in common.
It invites a simple backstory, usually not too complicated.
Huh.
Oh, we worked together, or we went to college together. Again, instant shared ground.
And here's a really nice one, I think. Very low risk, and it's also a compliment. I love your jacket. Where did you get it?
Oh, people usually like compliments on their styles.
That's exactly. It's specific, it's positive, and it often makes the other person feel good. And it's super easy for them to answer, oh, thanks, I got it at.
And that can easily lead somewhere else, right? Maybe talking about shopping or style, or even travel if they say, oh, I picked it up on holiday in Italy.
For sure. It's personal, but in a completely pleasant, non-intrusive way. These party examples, they show how you can use observations about the place or simple compliments really effectively.
They definitely feel warmer, less like a formal introduction, which fits the social context better.
Makes sense.
Okay, one last context for openers. What about just a truly casual public place, like waiting in line for coffee or at the bus stop? You're probably not aiming to become best friends.
Right, maybe just make the moment a bit less boring or isolated, a brief, friendly interaction.
So here, the material suggests commenting on the shared situation. Something simple.
Like, wow, this place is always busy. Do you come here often?
Yeah, you're acknowledging the immediate shared experience, the crowd, the wait, and the question is easy about the routine connected to the place.
Or you could focus on something related to the place itself, like the product. If it's a coffee shop, that coffee smells amazing. What did you order?
I like that one too. It shows genuine, sensory interest, and it prompts a simple description of their drink. Very low stakes. They just say, oh, it's the vanilla latte or whatever.
Super easy. And just like at the party, a simple compliment works well here too.
That's a cool backpack. Where did you get it?
Again, specific, positive, easy to answer. Oh, thanks, I found it online. Maybe it ends there. Maybe you chat for another minute about online shopping. Either way, it was a pleasant micro-interaction.
So, looking at all these examples, networking, parties, public places, you see that clear pattern the material emphasizes.
Yeah, the primary goal of the opener is just making the other person feel comfortable enough to respond. That's it.
You're not trying to blow them away with your wit or vocabulary.
No. You're just offering a simple, friendly invitation, a very brief interaction, and those questions, how's your day, been here before, hope, what did you order? They all require minimal effort to answer. They're not probing.
They're conversational bids, right. And they work best when they require, like you said, a low cognitive load for the person answering. Easy does it.
It sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? But maybe that's exactly why it works.
I think so. Overthinking those first few words is often what leads to just silence. Using one of these simple proven phrases just removes that mental block.
And the material even suggests, practicing them, saying them out loud, maybe into your phone recorder or even in front of a mirror.
Right, just repeating, hey, how's your day going? Or, this place is great. Have you been here before? Get comfortable with the sound and feel of saying them.
Because delivering a simple line confidently with a smile is way more effective than stumbling awkwardly over something you think sounds more impressive.
Absolutely. Getting comfortable with just a few of these go-to openers is a huge step. It clears that first hurdle that stops so many conversations before they even begin.
Okay, so you've done it. You used an opener. They responded. You're in the flow, maybe just a little bit. Success.
Woohoo. Now what? What do you actually talk about to keep it going for a minute or two?
Ah, the next step. And the material is very practical here, too. It identifies categories of topics that are generally safe and effective for small talk. Universally good bets.
These are considered the best topics because, as the material explains, they're, well, light, easy, and generally universal.
Right. They don't require any special knowledge, and most people can connect to them on some level. You don't need to be an expert on anything.
First up, the absolute classic.
Good.
Sometimes dismissed, but the material says it's incredibly reliable.
The weather.
The weather. It might seem mundane, boring even, but everyone experiences it. Everywhere.
And simple observations work perfectly. It's such a beautiful day today, isn't it? Just sharing that positive feeling.
Or acknowledging something less pleasant. Wow, it's really cold today. Are you looking forward to warmer weather? Creates instant common ground. You're both feeling the chill.
And what's powerful about the weather, which the material touches on, is how it can be a natural springboard, a starting point.
How so?
Well, like complaining about the cold might lead to talking about different seasons. Oh, I actually prefer autumn.
Okay.
Which could lead to discussing activities you enjoy in different weather. Yeah, autumn's great for hiking, or I can't wait for snow so I can go skiing.
Ah, I see. So the weather comment opens the door to talking about activities.
Which brings us neatly to the next big category recommended: hobbies and interests.
Right. This is a fantastic topic.
Right.
It's about what people enjoy doing. It's positive and it's personal, but in a good way.
Definitely. You can ask pretty broadly. So, what do you like to do for fun in your free time? Very open-ended.
Or you could get a little more specific, maybe based on the context or something they mentioned. Are you into any particular sports? Or have you read any good books lately? If you're, say, near a bookstore.
People generally light up, don't they, when talking about their passions, even just briefly.
Yeah, it's an easy way to find common ground. Oh, you like hiking too? Or just learn something new about someone. Oh, wow, I didn't know people collected vintage postcards.
And if they mention a hobby, like cycling, you can easily ask follow-up questions. Keep it going naturally.
Like, oh, cool, how long have you been cycling? Or,
Ah,
do you have a favorite route around here? Simple, shows interest.
keeps the conversational ball rolling. Okay, next category. This one comes with a big flashing warning sign, though.
Ah, yes, current events. But the material is crystal clear here. Non-political current events. Emphasis on non-political.
Absolutely critical distinction. You have got to avoid anything that could spark controversy or reveal strong, potentially conflicting opinions too early on. That kills the vibe.
So what does work then under current events? The examples provided are really good illustrations.
Yeah, I think pop culture, shared local experiences, light stuff. Like, did you see that amazing goal in the football game last night? Assuming football's popular where you are.
Or have you checked out that new restaurant everyone's talking about down the street? Local buzz.
Or even, I heard about that new movie that just came out. Are you planning to see it?
These are all things many people might be aware of and have casual, non-divisive opinions on. Entertainment, food, local happenings.
Exactly. They're generally safe conversational territory. Unlike, the latest political scandal or controversial law. Keep it light.
Got it. Okay, what else is on the safe list?
Travel. Another excellent, universally appealing topic.
Oh yeah, most people have either traveled somewhere or they want to travel or just have opinions about different places. Daydreaming about travel is common too.
Right. So it opens the door to pleasant discussions about experiences, aspirations. You can ask things like, have you been on any interesting trips recently?
Or if they mention where they're from, oh, you're from place name. I've always wanted to visit there. What's it like? Shows interest in them too.
Or even the more imaginative question. If you could visit anywhere in the world right now, where would it be? That can be fun.
Travel stories are often positive, interesting, and relatively easy to share without getting too deep. It taps into that shared human curiosity about the world.
For sure. And the final category the material recommends is also super accessible.
Food and drinks?
Can't go wrong. We all eat and drink. We often have opinions, preferences, favorite spots.
Do you know any good restaurants around here that you'd recommend? That's practical, invites local knowledge. Useful too. Or broader questions like, what's your favorite type of food to cook? Or even simpler, are you a coffee or a tea person?
You can talk about restaurants, different cuisines, cooking experiences, favorite cafes, even just what you had for lunch if it was interesting.
It's a topic with endless low-stakes variations. Everyone relates.
And the material gives a neat little example, a mini dialogue, showing how these topics can link together naturally.
Yeah, it goes something like, person A starts with the weather. Hey, nice weather today, isn't it?
Person B agrees. Yeah, finally, I love sunny days. Simple agreement.
And then person A follows up, linking it. Me too. Sunny weather makes me want to get outside. Are you doing anything fun this weekend?
Okay. So weather links smoothly to activities, which leads to talking about weekend plans. Nice.
Or another example they might imply. Person A says, this coffee's great here. I heard they roast their own beans, starting with food drink.
Person B could respond, oh, really? That's cool. I love trying local coffee shops when I travel. And A can immediately pick up on that. Oh, have you been on any interesting trips recently? And now you're talking travel.
I see. So these topics aren't just isolated islands. They act like building blocks or stepping stones.
Exactly. They make it easier to move from one idea to the next without those awkward pauses, creating that natural flow the material talks about.
It's about finding those comfortable points of connection that let the conversation just sort of meander gently, not feeling forced or like an interrogation.
By sticking to these categories, weather, hobbies, non-political current events, travel, food and drinks, you just massively increase your chances of finding something you both have a casual opinion or experience with. Safe ground.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So we know how to start, and we have a good list of safe topics. Now, the flip side.
Ah, yes. Equally important, maybe even more so sometimes, what not to talk about. The topics to actively avoid, especially when you're just getting to know someone.
The material is very explicit about these. Avoiding them is just as crucial as knowing the good topics. These are the landmines.
Absolutely. These are the topics that are either way too personal or just too likely to cause disagreement or discomfort in a light, casual chat. The material lists them clearly as red flags. Big ones.
First up, no surprise really, politics.
Yeah, asking things like, so who did you vote for? Or launching into your strong opinions on the latest political issue, just don't. It's a huge no-no for small talk.
Why is it so bad? It's current events, technically.
Because politics taps into really deeply held beliefs and values. People can be incredibly passionate and often divided, bringing it up with someone you barely know.
High risk of an awkward moment.
Or a heated debate you didn't want. Or just making someone feel really uncomfortable, pressure to agree or disagree. It's simply too heavy, too potentially divisive for that initial light connection you're trying to build. Save it for closer friends, maybe.
Okay, good advice. Next on the avoid list, money.
Questions like, wow, nice car, how much did that cost? Or even worse, so what's your salary like?
Yeah, that feels intrusive just thinking about it.
It is. Discussions about personal finances are considered very private in many cultures, certainly in most English-speaking ones. It's usually reserved for very close relationships, if discussed at all.
So asking someone about their income, or the cost of their house, or their watch.
It's seen as nosy, intrusive. It can make people feel judged, uncomfortable, put on the spot. Just avoid financial specifics altogether in small talk.
Got it. Politics and money are out. Third on the list.
Religion. Avoid asking directly, what are your religious beliefs? Or expressing your own strong religious views unprompted.
Similar reason to politics, I guess.
Exactly. Like politics, religious or spiritual beliefs are deeply personal, often very sensitive. Bringing it up out of the blue in small talk is generally considered inappropriate.
It could lead to discomfort, misunderstanding.
Or even unintentional offense if beliefs differ significantly. It's just not a topic for casual icebreaking. Keep it secular in initial chats.
Makes sense. Politics, money, religion. The big three often cited.
Yeah.
And the material adds one more category to avoid.
Yes. Discussing personal problems.
Okay, what does that mean exactly? The example given is something like, you look tired. Is everything okay? That sounds kind of caring, no.
It could come from a caring place, but the material's point is about the context of small talk. Small talk is meant to be light, positive, pleasant.
Right.
Bringing up the possibility that someone is experiencing a problem or commenting on their appearance in a way that suggests something is wrong, like saying they look tired or stressed or unwell, it puts them in a really awkward position.
How so?
Well, they might not want to share personal struggles with a near stranger. Or they might suddenly feel self-conscious about how they look. You've potentially introduced negativity or pressure into what should be a light exchange.
Ah, okay. So it breaks that rule of keeping the conversation comfortable and positive.
Exactly. It's generally best to stick to topics that are neutral or positive, as the material recommends. Don't go fishing for problems, even if you mean well. Let them bring it up if they choose to, much later, perhaps.
So those are the conversational minefields then. Steer well clear of politics, money, religion, and digging into potential personal problems.
Keep to the universal light topics we discussed earlier: weather, hobbies, travel, food, light current events. That's the reliable path to ensure the interaction stays pleasant and comfortable for everyone involved.
It's about creating a safe, positive initial space for connection.
Think of small talk as that quick, friendly exchange on safe, common ground. These other topics, they take you way off-road into potentially rough, bumpy terrain. Not worth the risk initially.
Okay, great. So we've got the blueprint now.
Yeah.
How to start, what to talk about, what to avoid. But the material adds one more crucial layer.
Yes, how you deliver it all. This can make a huge difference. It's the final piece, sounding friendly and confident, regardless of the actual words.
This is where nonverbal communication and your tone of voice really come into play, isn't it?
Absolutely. You could use the perfect opener, pick the perfect topic, but if your delivery is, I don't know, nervous, flat, closed off, it can undermine the whole effort. The material gives simple, practical techniques here.
First, and maybe the most impactful, smile. Smile when you speak.
The material really emphasizes this. It makes you instantly sound warmer, more approachable.
And it's so true, you can actually hear a smile in someone's voice, can't you? Even over the phone.
You really can. A genuine smile signals friendliness and openness before you even say a word. It just makes the other person feel more at ease, more receptive to chatting with you. It's powerful.
Okay, smiling. What's next?
Use open body language. The advice is pretty straightforward. Stand or sit with relaxed shoulders. Try to have good posture. Keep your arms uncrossed.
Right. Think about what closed-off body language communicates. Arms crossed tight, maybe hunched shoulders, avoiding looking at the person.
Yeah, it signals disinterest or maybe feeling defensive or insecure. Not very inviting.
Whereas open body language, standing or sitting tall, arms relaxed at your sides, or maybe gesturing gently, makes you look more confident.
More engaged. It signals to the other person non-verbally that you are open and receptive to this interaction. You're present.
Okay, smile, open posture. Third,
Maintain eye contact. The material highlights this as a key way to show interest and engagement.
not like a creepy stare down.
No, definitely not. Just direct but comfortable eye contact. Meeting their gaze naturally while you're talking, and importantly, while you're listening.
It shows you're focused on them and the conversation, makes them feel valued, heard.
Exactly. Constantly looking away, down at your shoes, over their shoulder. It can make you seem uninterested or shifty or just lacking confidence. Good eye contact builds trust.
Smile, open body eye contact. And finally,
Use a friendly tone of voice. The material warns against sounding too serious or monotone or obviously nervous.
this ties back to the smile, I suppose. Your tone carries so much meaning.
It really does. Practice speaking in a voice that sounds warm, pleasant, have some natural inflection, showing interest or enthusiasm where it fits.
Avoid speaking too fast, maybe. That can sound anxious.
Yeah, or too slow and hesitant. Find that natural, friendly pace. A welcoming tone invites connection just as much as the words do.
The material suggests a simple exercise for this, right?
Yeah, like saying a simple phrase, "Hi, how's your day going?" Say it once in a deliberately nervous, flat, monotone way.
Okay, flatly. Hi, how's your day going?
Right, now try it again, but this time, put on a smile, imagine open posture, use a friendly, upward tone.
Warmly, smiling. Hi, how's your day going?
See, the difference is huge. You can instantly hear and feel the warmth, the confidence, the approachability in the second version. Recording yourself can really highlight this.
It's fascinating how these seemingly small physical and vocal tweaks can have such a big impact. Not just on how others see you.
But on how you feel, too. Standing tall, smiling, making eye contact, these actions can actually help reduce your own feelings of nervousness. They trick your brain into feeling more confident.
Fake it till you make it, almost. But in a way that becomes real.
Sort of. It helps you embody that confidence. So the core message here, really summing up the material's whole approach to small talk, is simple but powerful.
Start with a friendly, low-pressure opener.
Choose an easy, light, universal topic.
Steer clear of the danger zones. Politics, money, religion, personal problems.
And deliver it all using these nonverbal cues.
Yeah.
Smile, open body language, eye contact, and a friendly tone.
It boils down to being approachable yourself, choosing comfortable content for the other person, and presenting it all with a calm, open kind of assurance.
That's the package.
Wow, okay. Looking at it all laid out like this, the material provides a really clear, step-by-step blueprint for navigating small talk.
It really does. It breaks down what can feel like this mysterious or intimidating social dance into manageable, practical parts.
How to start, what to talk about, what to avoid, and how to present yourself confidently.
Yes, and the promise, the takeaway is that by focusing on these key elements, you can significantly improve your comfort level and your effectiveness in these everyday casual conversations. It gets easier.
Let's do a quick recap then of these main points, just pulling directly from the structure of the material we've been discussing.
Good idea. First, initiating the conversation, the key. Simple, low-pressure openers make the other person comfortable responding.
Like, hey, nice to meet you. How's your day going? For networking.
Or, this place is great. Have you been here before? At a party.
Or even, wow, that coffee smells amazing. What did you order? It's waiting in line. The goal is just that gentle invitation to connect for a moment.
Then for topics, stick to the light, easy, universal stuff. The material flags weather,
Hobbies and interests.
non-political current events, and food and drinks. Remember how they can link together naturally, moving from weather to weekend plans or coffee to travel? Keeps it flowing.
Crucially important, know the topics to actively steer clear of. Avoid anything too personal or controversial.
That means politics, money, religion, and try not to bring up or comment on potential personal problems. These tend to shut down connection, not open it up.
Keep it light, keep it safe initially. And finally, how you deliver it all matters just as much as the words.
Boost your friendliness and confidence through those nonverbal cues, smiling when you speak,
Using open body language, shoulders relaxed, arms uncrossed.
maintaining comfortable eye contact to show you're engaged.
And speaking in a friendly, warm tone of voice, not flat or nervous.
The material really hammers home that practicing these 4 pillars, friendly opener, easy topic, avoiding tricky areas, and confident delivery is what builds the skill over time.
It makes those interactions feel much more natural, much less stressful. You build muscle memory for it.
And this brings up an important point for you, the listener, because the material isn't just theory. It includes a challenge, concrete steps to put this into practice.
Right, it's about taking what we've discussed and actually trying it out. Step 1, try starting a conversation. Use one of those openers we talked about.
Maybe start small, low stakes, with a friendly colleague or a friend you haven't seen in a bit. Or challenge yourself a little more.
Yeah, initiate a brief chat with someone new, the barista, someone at the grocery store, checkout, someone at an event. Just a quick opener.
Step 2, once you've opened the door, pick one of those recommended safe topics. Weather, hobbies, travel, food, light, current events. See where it goes.
Remember to listen to their response. And maybe ask a simple follow-up question based on what they said. Keep it going for another turn or two.
And then step 3. Afterward, take just a moment to reflect. How did that feel? Was it easier or harder than you expected?
Did the opener work? What topic seemed to land well? Was there anything you'd maybe adjust for next time?
That reflection is key. That's how you learn and build comfort and refine your approach, little by little.
So this deep dive, it's focused really specifically on this strategy for small talk as laid out in the source material.
And it's clearly framed as the essential first step, right, towards becoming more comfortable, more fluent in everyday English interactions.
And the material also clearly indicates what comes next in that program's progression, moving beyond just the light chat.
Exactly. Moving towards expressing your own opinions, sharing your thoughts, agreeing with people, maybe disagreeing sometimes, but doing it politely and effectively.
Which makes perfect sense. Once you can confidently open the door with small talk, the natural next step is wanting to actually participate more fully as the conversation potentially deepens.
You want to be able to share your perspective, your take on things. That's vital for genuine connection, moving beyond just pleasantries.
The source outlines that the next stage involves learning phrases and techniques for stating your opinion clearly.
How to politely agree with someone, which is usually easy enough.
But also, crucially, how to politely disagree without shutting down the conversation or causing offense. That's a tricky skill.
And doing all of this while still sounding confident in your own voice. Not aggressive, but assured.
That sounds like the skill set needed to move from simply starting a conversation to actually having a substantive conversation, building on the foundation.
It is. And if we connect this back to the bigger picture, this whole deep dive into small talk based on this material, it really makes you look at those brief interactions differently, doesn't it?
Yeah. If small talk is presented as this absolute fundamental first step towards deeper conversations, towards building relationships,
Sure.
what does that really tell us about the significance, the actual power of those seemingly simple, maybe throwaway moments?
It totally reframes how you might view, waiting in line at the coffee shop or those first few slightly awkward words exchanged when you meet someone new at an event.
They aren't just insignificant pauses in the day anymore. They're potentially the crucial foundation being laid. The very first brick, maybe, in building a potential connection, big or small.
So what stands out to you most about how these small connections are built now that you've heard this strategy broken down? Does thinking about small talk this way, does it change how you might approach those moments next time you're in a situation to chat?
Something to maybe ponder as you go about your day and your interactions this week.
Absolutely. Small talk isn't just talk. The material suggests it's like the polite handshake of conversation, a necessary opening. So maybe start practicing today.
That's all for this deep dive. We hope these insights from the material help you feel maybe a bit more prepared, more confident to start those conversations in English.
Keep talking, keep practicing, and try to enjoy the process of connecting with people.
Bye for now, and happy chatting.